Hello and welcome to my roundup for September 22nd of all the Mega Evolutions revealed so far for Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y. I'm going to be going through each one in Pokédex order, talking about their changes when they Mega Evolve, as well as, obviously ability changes and stat changes if we know about them. So let's get started. Looking first at Venusaur, who is a Grass Poison type. When it Mega Evolves, it gains some spots on its face and also a little flower thing on its forehead, and gains some vines underneath its leaves connected to the flower, as well as the leaves kind of like double as like two sets of leaves instead of just a single one. Also, it gains the ability Thick Fat, which protects it, or at least increases its resistance to fire type and ice type moves, obviously making it more of a tank. As well as this, it has increased defense and special defense, so Mega Venusaur is going to be very helpful in staying alive, really. Then looking at Charizard, it's a fire flying type, and when it Mega Evolves, it gains pretty much some sort of like scythe-like appendages to its arms, a spike on its tail, as well as spikes on the end of its tail as well, and also its wings look a lot more sort of spiked, and I don't really know, and it also gains some sort of cooler looking spikes on its head. When it Mega Evolves, it gains the ability Drought, which means that there's a perpetual or a consistent sunlight in the battle, meaning that the fire type moves it has will get powered up, but it also has significantly increased special attack, which means an attack like Flamethrower or Blast Burn is going to do quite a lot of damage, especially with Drought going on and Charizard getting stabbed from the move as well. Then looking at Blastoise, it's a water type, and when it Mega Evolves, it gains cannons on its arms, hence #arm cannons, and also a larger cannon, single cannon on its back, and it gains the ability Mega Launcher. This ability actually powers up the effectiveness of pulse moves, such as Water Pulse and Dark Pulse, which is obviously going to be very helpful if you equip Blastoise with a Water Pulse. We haven't received any information on the stats quite yet, I don't think, but I imagine it would be possibly a defense increase with an attack or a special attack increase, but as I said, it hasn't been confirmed quite yet. Next, we're going to look at Kangaskhan. Now, Kangaskhan's Mega Evolution hasn't been properly fully revealed. However, we have seen it. It is real. It's just not been revealed on the website quite yet. However, in Kangaskhan's Mega Evolution, its baby hops out of the pouch to battle alongside its mother, which is going to be a very fun feature, I think. We don't know what type it's going to be. We can assume it's going to stay a normal type. However, it could change. Just saying there. And it's going to have the ability Parental Bond, which means that both the mother and the baby can attack once each in single turns, so you're going to have two attacks coming at you from a Mega Kangaskhan, so that's going to be very interesting to see in battle. Next, we're going to look at, obviously everyone knows about these Mega Evolutions, Mega Mewtwo, or just Mewtwo at the moment. In its normal form, or its just basic form, it is a Psychic type. However, we have two Mega Evolutions for Mewtwo. When it is Mega Evolved using Mewtwo X, it evolves into Mega Mewtwo X, which is a Psychic Fighting type, and has the ability Steadfast. It's also going to have an increased attack stat, so it's going to be very much focused on fighting, physical moves and stuff like that. Then we have Mega Mewtwo Y, which will Mega Evolve from Mewtwo with a Mewtwo Y. It's going to have the ability Insomnia, which prevents it from going to sleep, and it's going to have an increased special attack stat. As you know as well, it starred in the film Extreme Speed Genesect Mewtwo Awakens. Next up, we are looking at Ampharos. Ampharos is an electric type, however, when it Mega Evolves, it becomes an electric dragon type, which is going to be quite interesting to see how people use that, really. It's going to have the ability Mold Breaker, which allows it to use any move regardless of ability or type or anything like that, and will also, well, as I've said, change to electric dragon. There may be stat changes, but if there are, you can imagine there'll be special attack stat changes, but they may just stay on basic stats. Next up, we have a Mega Blaziken, or just Blaziken at the moment, but when it evolves into Mega Blaziken through the use of Blazikenite, which will be distributed with the use of a Torchic on October 12th onwards, so you have to grab that then, otherwise you won't be able to get a Mega Blaziken at all, unless of course you trade the item across. And it's going to have the ability Speed Boost, which raises its speed at the end of every turn, which is going to be very helpful, and also have an increased attack stat, so it's going to be very much focused on physical moves since it is a fire fighting type, but also being very fast and agile, I guess. Next up, we have Mawile. Now, Mawile is a Steel Fairy type. However, when it Mega Evolves to Mega Mawile, it's going to have the ability Huge Power, which raises its attack stat, and has increased defense and special defense, which is going to make it, a bit stronger since it's also a steel type. However, since steel types have lost their resistances to dark and ghost moves, I believe, in Generation 6, it may reduce its usefulness quite a bit. Then we have Absol, which is a dark type Pokemon, and when it Mega Evolves, it gets the ability Magic Bounce, and also has an increased attack and speed. In its Mega Evolution, you can see it has sort of its scythe thing on its head sort of gets larger, as well as its front bit, I don't know what to call it, but also gains some wings and some sort of like more menacing looking tail, and obviously claws and spikes on the back of its legs. Then we have Garchomp, and when Garchomp Mega Evolves, it keeps its Dragon Ground typing, but gains huge red blade-like hands, I guess you could say, as well as spikes on its chest, its arms, and its knees. Well, it's already had them, but it has some sort of red ones as well. Its jaw got a bigger red jaw now, and it looks very powerful to me. And its tail, I think, has suffered a slight change, but not too much there. It has the ability Sand Force, which powers up, I believe, ground, steel, and rock types, while a Sandstorm is in effect, may I add. And also has decreased speed, so don't expect your Garchomp to be very fast anymore, but increased attack and special attack, so it's going to make it a very hard hitter. Finally for today we have Lucario, which is a fighting steel type, and when it Mega Evolves it keeps its typing but gains the ability Adaptability. Now Adaptability increases the power of stab moves, instead of by 1.5 times, like a normal stab does, but 2 times, so it's going to be very powerful indeed. The design for Mega Lucario gets, it's sort of like red everywhere. It's red feet, red hands, and also red sort of ends to its, what I would call hair, as well as a meaner looking face, and some sort of like tail thing that trails off instead of its normal blue tail. The item required to Mega Evolve it is Lucario Knight, as you would expect, and also has an increased attack stat. So with the increased attack stat, adaptability, and also obviously adaptability to do a stab anyway, but hitting an enemy with a fighting or steel type move that's physical is going to hit very hard indeed. So guys, that's my roundup of all the Mega Evolutions so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a comment, and I'll be doing a video on all the characters or people in Pokemon X and Y that have been revealed so far very soon, so you can learn about who you expect to meet in the Kalos region. So guys, thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you next time. Goodbye.